Or should I
Welcome,
say?
welcome to the Misadventures podcast.
Yes, welcome everybody. Jag är Paula Marie Herbert Inneshe. Now Barney Schlip, but Dutney Bushchi, Nakadina Edashche, and Tutna Zatni Dashanala. Hi, I'm Paula Marie Herbert, also known as at XO Honeybee Marie XO. Welcome. I'm pretty excited about this.
And I'm Brittany Shulman, and Wakamasuan, originally from North Carolina, living in Albuquerque. And you can find me. You can find me at It's Brittany Shulman on all platforms except Twitter. Twitter is it's clever native, no vowels, because that was cool at one point, and apparently Twitter won't let me change it. So look out for that.
Yeah. So if you're starting on Twitter now, be very, very mindful of what your name is, because I'm in the same boat. I'm fearless_guppy on Twitter.
Oh, so cute. But yeah, it's like a Twitter handle is from when all my names were clever native, because again, I thought I was clever and native. Makes sense, right?
I apparently was a fearless guppy at one time. So there we go. So
it's back here.
Here we are.
So if you're just joining us, we are wanting. So Paul and I have always had these really great, wonderful conversations about everything life, all of the misadventures, all of the different things that we've gone through. And we wanted to share those conversations with you guys. We've been having our lives on Wednesday. So if you follow either one of us, you can catch us Wednesday at 7 Mountain Time on Instagram, where we do a live and we just talk about what's happening in our day, or what's happening in the world, or, what's happening, period. If anything's happening, or maybe things aren't happening. Anyway. But so we wanted to start a podcast to really share with the world, because some of our conversations, when we've talked with other people about them, it's like, oh, I never thought of it that way, or I didn't know that was a thing, or whatever. So that's really, and if this is your thing, if this is the kind of podcast you like, or you want to, please like, comment, subscribe, ding the little bell in the YouTube thing, so you can find out when she's uploading, because she's also uploading. I like hitting my mic. She's also uploading lots of other videos every week. Ours will be coming out on Tuesday if you want the Misadventures podcast.
And I have my Misadventures of a Res Girl videos that are going to be coming out every Thursday. So look out for those. The reason I use the term misadventures is because it kind of puts a fun twist on things, right? Like, so if I always think of the fork, right? The fancy meal setting fork. I don't know. The placement of.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Do we work at and it's so funny because I always think of Pretty Woman when I think of misadventures, when she has to figure out which fork to use. Well, I find myself on a lot of misadventures, because even if it's like an adventure, there's always something that kind of goes wrong, but it's because of my own lived experience, right? And so then I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was fun. It was an adventure and a misadventure, because I sort of stumbled along the way. But there's always something to learn in those, and that's why we've kind of come across the misadventure name. I don't know if you agree.
That's actually perfect. And we're just, of course, right now I have a call. Are you getting, hopefully, today is November 5th. Hopefully you have gotten out and gone and voted for whomever you voted for. Hopefully you did it before today, but if you didn't, glad you got it today. Go get it today. Get it done. Go now. And hopefully these spammers will quit spamming me. I've got a lot of those calls. Have you seen an increase in your?
A lot of people reaching out that I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Whoever campaign you're working for. I gotta go. My dog's crying. Bye.
My favorite thing to do now is when the call comes up, I will do the message and please text me.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that. Or
and half the time they're landlines.
Right. Well,
or
don't
the
you
other
wish
half
that
somebody going, Who dis?
Don't you wish that our car warranty, there's a certain date that those stopped, you know?
I don't even have a car right now, so I don't know how I'm getting them.
Your warranty on your car that you sold on Monday is expired. You need to go get it.
It's the warranty on the car I no longer that I crashed and haven't owned for like 10 years, and then a warranty on a car that I don't even have because I done sold it. So I'm carless right now. We're sharing a vehicle, which is always fun.
Oh, your war pony's gone.
Yeah, I sold it, and I can't believe someone bought it. I'm happy they did because she didn't run. She didn't run.
War pony.
In fact, I told Joe, I said, "Hey, how about I think I'll be happy to pay someone $100 just to take it." He said, "I think we can get some money out of this." I was like, "It's on you, babe. Whatever you want to do, go for it." He sold it. It don't run. Let me just reiterate: it don't run. The battery. It was a 2002. The battery it was a Prius. The battery won't work in, and those batteries are not easy. And he sold it on the spot. I was like, that day. I was like, wow.
I'm impressed.
I was impressed too, and then kind of sad because I got no car.
Aw, that's a hard spot to be in.
I'm not going anywhere. I don't know why. There is no going anywhere. Pandemic, quarantine. Woo!
Yay. None of us need our cars. I think our environment thanks us for that. But at the same time, I just go walking around my neighborhood and gotten to know a lot of my neighbors from a distance.
So we're going to move into our first segment, which is a misadventure. And today's misadventure is misadventures in friendship, really focusing on how the two of us met. I'll get my words together here in a minute, guys.
I'm super excited about this segment because then you guys get to kind of know how our journey started together. They were definitely misadventures, and I don't know. And then Brittany, I feel like we've been inseparable since.
Right? So I guess let's just start with, I'm gonna start with the timeline I remember, which is me moving to Albuquerque, and I'm a sister of the Alpha Pi Omega Sorority Incorporated, and so is Paula. And I reached out when I was moving here because I didn't know anybody. It was a misadventure in and of itself, but that's for another day. So I reached out to the sorority and the sisters who were living in the Albuquerque areas, like, I'm moving and I know nobody and I know nothing. I don't have a house. I do have a car, but so no, I just wanted to make those connections. And I happened to meet up with Kristin, Gentry, and she was so welcoming, so warm, and just invited me to all sorts of sorority things that were happening. And one of our meetings was at Paula's apartment. And I remember us staying behind one of many apartments. This is many apartments ago.
I move a lot, guys. A lot.
It's the way of her people. So we were at the meeting, and just kind of everything was done. All the meeting part was over, and we're just kind of hanging out and just sitting there and talking and chatting. And Paula started talking about this. She had a scar, and Kristin, in her so Kristin way, just goes, "What's that?" and tell us about it. And so Paula was telling us about this boyfriend that she has. And and how he was so abusive and mean, and he would just say things and do things. And I remember sitting there because I've just met this chick, and she was being very open about this relationship she was in. And I'm like, baby, I don't think you need to be with him. I'm concerned for you now. I am so worried. And in my heart, and on the inside, I'm just going, I don't know her well enough to tell her, leave him, honey, leave him. But at the same time, it's that, you get in that weird place of when you're talking to someone, because especially when it's their partner, even if and you can see from the outside looking in that it's a bad situation. And by the way, there was no partner in the place at the time. So I was having that whole internal dialogue of, I need to tell her, but if I tell her, she gonna take it wrong. I don't know her that well. She don't know me that well. So me and Kristin got in the car and we're driving back to my apartment. It's like, Kristin, you need to tell her she don't need to be with him. I'm not sure that she realizes how bad this is. Come to find out, people, she won't with him.
No.
This was an experience in her past, and we all have them of this, and the things that she had learned along the way. And I was like, it was legitimately years later before I realized that, oh, okay, I feel much better about life.
I think it was this year, maybe, that or I don't know. But I was very, very single. Very, very single at that point.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was the guy she started dating later. I was like, oh, there was nobody at that time. Okay, we're good.
We're good. Me and my dog. We're back at that point. Life is amazing. But it is because you had asked about the scar, and I went into that story because the scar is, and we'll touch base on that later on in our episodes. Yeah, that's another misadventure, a whole can of misadventures. But then I want to talk about when my first impression of you, and we had met. That was a meeting, and there were a series of things that we did because we went to Starbucks, and then we had the meeting at my apartment, and then we went on it's called All Huntington Day in Phoenix. We went on a road trip, or I don't know how you got down there.
Me and Joe went together. We made it a whole thing.
Oh yeah, it was a. This was pre-baby, wasn't it?
Oh, this was definitely pre-baby because I never would have been able to go. This was definitely pre-baby.
There was days when we were pre-Karina and pre-Jared. Oh, cute.
I call it for children.
Well, a bunch of us had rented a house, and I don't think you and Joe stayed. You guys stayed somewhere else. And we were all, I mean, it was post meetings. We didn't really have meetings all day, but at All Honeycomb Day, we just had a bunch of sorority activities. And it was post all of this, and we were back at the house. And this is the first, so there's two firsts in this misadventure we had here. We were all hanging out. And when it's with the sisters, like, there's no strangers, there's no first time meeting, but there are definitely first impressions. I'm laughing. I'm sorry, I'm prematurely laughing because it was quite an impression. And we were all hanging out, playing music, and the sisters started requesting the song Percolator.
I think this is the unofficial song of the sorority.
I think so too. So it's so funny because that was my first time ever hearing that song, and I didn't know it was a thing. And I don't think it's a thing past a certain point in the United States, past the East Coast.
I'm gonna be real honest. I've only met, outside of North Carolina, I've only met one other person, and she was from South Carolina. Who knew what that was, who knew the song, and knew
and this was Rashina was there, and Rashina, I don't know, she's from North Carolina too, or
yeah, she's Hiawassee.
Oh yeah, so we're all in this really small bedroom in the back, and we rented an Airbnb. We rented a whole house, and there were several bedrooms, and we were in the back, and the Percolator comes on, and Brittany, I don't know if we have the knees that we had back then.
Oh, I know I don't. I heard that. Go watch my workout videos. My knees are crunchy. I can't articulate like that anymore if I wanted to.
Right. And both of them, during a certain part in the song, drop down and start doing the Percolator. Now, y'all, if you're from the Southwest like me, go online and Google it and look at, I mean, it is dropped down and just, I was like,
twerking was a thing.
right. I mean, that was like the twerking in I don't know what era, but I looked at her and I was like, I was impressed because both of them are doing the percolator, like all the way down on the ground, bouncing up and down towards each other. And I'm like, what is this? Like, it was impressive. I wish I had a video clip to insert here, because it was impressive. I was impressed.
I don't think there's video of that one. However, that same year, it was Chelly who we were at Grand Gathering, which is our annual conference, and we were at the ball part, the pie ball part of our conference, and they played the song, and of course everyone's in a big circle and next thing I know, Chelly comes behind me and pushes me in. I was like, okay.
I'd ask for a demonstration now, but that's it. Don't do that to me. Don't do that.
I make my own music
now. But yeah, that was my first impression of Brittany. That was quite an impression because guys, like, I wish I could have seen my own face.
I mean, she looked at me and was like, she ain't got moves. I got moves.
Yeah. I was like, who is this? Very Southern. It was interesting. It was really fun. It was, I can't say enough about it, but look it up. And then times it by 10 about the oppressiveness in that video you look up, because Brittany got moves. And that's when I fell in love.
My husband.
Like, no. I'm just, over here like, dang. I was like, is that how she bagged Joe? Because I'm not surprised.
Actually, we went, Joe and I had been dating a little while, and I forgot what event it was. It was like New Year's Eve or something. And we had went out, and I had these high heel boots on. And I remember I was just walking, and I was like, and then, you when you have the high heel boot and you get that little twist, I got the little twist, went down, banged my knee, came right back up before the Joe could go, are you oh.
Is that when he got down on one knee?
and truth be told, it was very painful. But I'm like, I'm great.
I think we've all had one of those. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I got 1,000 of those I fell down stories. That's one of the reasons my knees are crunchy. So
I fell down this morning. Shoot. I was so I have to turn my sign around that says, has it had a spill for it's back to 0 days. I have one of those in my house. Has it gotten past 5 days? So it's all good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So anywho, we just, to continue this misadventures in friendship, we actually for a long time worked together. And what had happened was the organization that I was working with, we were needing some support staff.
We're having a spill at the moment.
What's happening over there? Are you speaking of which, take it back to 0.
You know what? Let's just take it. Let's just do minutes, right? Because I have coffee all up in my hair now, but not on my floor, so we're good. Apparently we're gonna have to do this by the minute. As you were.
So the organization I was working with needed some extra support. We were doing some really cool things, but we just didn't have enough people. And I remember Paula going, I'm looking for a job. I could do this, that, and the other. So I remember asking her, it's like, how about, can you interested in doing this kind of work for a minute? And she's like, yeah, sure. It's like, we'll contract you. And so we contracted her to do this event, and it was amazing and wonderful, and she was awesome. Because Paula's a really, really good worker. No one tells you that enough, but I'm telling you now. She's a really good worker. She's very much a self-starter and just would do all the things. You know, like you have a task, but there's tasks to get to the task, and then you have to figure out how to figure out what the task is to get to the task. That's a lot of task. Anywho, she can do it. So we were just we had an opening in the organization, and she ended up becoming. Were you the assistant to the president first?
Yes.
Yeah. You did that for a little while, and then
I like to joke that I started in the mailroom,
which is kind of true because we don't have a mailroom, but it was definitely the backstairs, understairs. I don't know. So
we were mailing out. I was mailing out incentives.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. That's what you guys hired me to do, is mail out incentives for a fundraiser. I think you guys had done.
Yeah, so you did start in the mailroom. So then she was assistant to the president, and then she became the office manager for quite a good number of years. I actually really enjoyed working with you. That's one of the reasons we're doing the podcast now, because it's such a great experience. We wanted to keep working together, mostly because in the mornings, I'd be at the office, and Paula would come in, or she'd be at the office and I would come in, and we'd get our coffee and we'd just start talking about whatever it was that was happening in our lives, or in our day, or in what was happening, whatever was happening.
And that's basically where our conversation started, I think. And then, everything. And if it was Monday, we were recapping on our weekends. If it was Tuesday, we were recapping on our Monday. And it was like, it was like a gathering around the water cooler situation. And we don't have any of those fancy stuff. We didn't have a mail room. We didn't have a water cooler. But,
we had coffee.
Oh, yes. Nice toasty morning coffee. This one's kind of cold and all over my shirt. So,
well, at least it was cold when it fell on your shirt. Oh my gosh, that would have been horrible.
Oh yeah, that's for sure, right? And I dropped a whole lot of stuff, so I'm gonna go out of frame for a minute.
If you need to take care of yourself, I'll keep talking. Hi, friends. Welcome.
We're working together.
Section of this podcast.
Oh my God. We have plenty to share on our own as Misadventures, but it's so funny to have the other person's comments,
right? I mean,
reactions.
So
I love it.
Yeah, speaking of hot coffee, the other day I was getting the kids ready, and I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but Jared disappeared. And then I heard him go, oh. By the way, Jared is my he'll be 2 by the time this comes out. So he's my 2-year-old. Oh. And I was like, what is happening? What's wrong with you? He brought me my coffee. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And you can see exactly because we're getting rid of this carpet, thank God. But you can see exactly on the floor where he had come from, and how he brought the coffee from the kitchen to the bedroom where I was doing their hair or something. It's like,
oh, that's so sweet. Trimming him early.
You're so sweet, and don't do that again.
I'm getting rid of my carpet too. I have carpet. So the place that I'm living now, the people remodeled it, like kinda, and they put nice flooring in every living space except the living room, bed, and the bedrooms.
What other living space is there? The kitchen? They just put it in the kitchen?
But yeah, basically. And I'm like, I don't understand that. And I'm like, I would have just redone I just don't like carpet.
I did. Growing up, we had hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that's what I wanted was carpet. I do not ever again in my life, if I can help it, I do not want carpet. It's disgusting. I can't keep it clean. And these folks had carpet in the bathroom. So when we first moved into the house, that's the one project that we did immediately. And by we, Joe, it was take the. Oh, well, let's also recap. I was like 7 months pregnant at that point. We moved into this house. So that's the one project he did immediately was get rid of the carpet in the bathroom. I'm like, who does this? This is gross. And he put down these stick down tiles just as a meantime in between time situation. And then we had a leak under the foundation. One of the pipes burst and just was leaking all over. So we had to take out all the concrete. He had to tear up his flooring his beautiful stick down flooring that he put down. So right now, currently in our bathroom, until we get this new flooring in, it's like half stick down flooring and half concrete, the concrete base floor, subfloor. Anyway. Jeez.
Misadventures in flooring. Always. Yeah, no, the carpet, and the thing is like this place was lived in, and my best friend owns it. One of my best friends, and so she had a little, huh?
I don't know if y'all could hear that, but it just had a whole drag race on my road. I live in a very quiet neighborhood except for that drag race. But go ahead.
You're like, okay, let's have a drag race right during my podcast. Thanks.
Usually how it happens.
I don't know if you can hear my mom.
Always. There's some strange, unusual noise that will happen. But I digress. Please continue.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, flooring. So like a child lived here before, so they're like little slime spots, and it's just carpet is not kid or animal friendly. It's just not friendly at all. So I'm gonna be engaging in that misadventure soon, redoing the floors in my bedroom and my living room.
Yeah, speaking of misadventures in flooring, this was a completely unplanned segment. We have had 3 different companies come in and measure our floors, and we've yet to be able to secure a date or get COVID's just jacking everything up. It takes 75% longer, and I have a deadline to get some new flooring in here, and specifically because we've got some family coming. And I was talking to Joe. I was like, I'm stressing out about this because I don't know if we're going to get this done in time for them to be here. And because I created this deadline, he didn't create it. I created this. There's another drag race happening. What in the world? But because I created this deadline, I was really stressing out about it. And on top of, for those of you who don't know and aren't following me, I'm in grad school. I work full time. And I do all these really cool content things on the side. So it's a lot. It was a lot. And then adding another layer of taking care of the home. Because, I mean, it's enough just to keep the clothes washed, the dishes washed, and ensure that there's spaces to walk, especially with kids. Adding that next layer of home improvement was just throwing me over the edge. So we're only going to do the living room and kitchen, the big, easy places. And then we'll do the bedrooms after. If we could ever get anyone in here. Three different companies have come and measured. We have our measurements.
See, the beautiful things about the bedrooms, though, is you can close the doors, so your guests never see them.
Unless they're living in them.
Oh, I forgot about your guest bedroom.
Yeah, so that's actually my next. I have. So in New Mexico, in a lot of homes, there's usually this cutout place. And I assume, as someone who's not a native New Mexican and not Catholic, that's where you're supposed to put your saints. You know what I'm talking? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The little
Yeah.
cutout at the doorway.
Like,
yeah.
It's like,
Supposed
by
to
the
be an
doorway.
altar.
Yeah, that's exactly. So we were using our altar for mail, and it was not. Don't choke on your coffee.
You don't want to. Are you saying like maybe the bills will be paid? You know what I mean?
Well, it was, my thinking was originally, and this is my whole thing when it comes to home organization, is figuring out what your spaces are and how those spaces work. So I was like, it's right by the front door. This is a perfect place to create like a little home center. Like, I forget exactly what it's called. It'll come to me later. But like command center, like a home command center. So you go through your mail here, you go through your stuff here. And again, I was thinking Keyser have their spot. You have this. I had a whole plan for it. It was a dumping ground. It ended up just being this huge mess of a dumping ground. And it was really bad. It got really, really bad. So we actually, because I have guests coming, it gave me a reason to, not that I needed a reason to, but actually go through it and rethink about what I wanted. So now it's actually more like an altar. I've got lots of pictures in there, some of our medicines and stuff. So hopefully this week you'll be able to see what I've done there and also what I've done in the bedroom. By the time this comes out, hopefully I've gotten through that bedroom and really cleaned it out. Because right now it's a guest bedroom. It's a office. It's my craft room. It's the kids. I don't want you messing with stuff, so it goes in here room. And it's kind of become a catch-all. And in organizing, I like function over form. It's not, I mean, if you ever watch like the Home Edit, I've been watching the Home Edit on Netflix. And they like to do the form and the function. So it's really pretty. They're the rainbow people. Like if you go on their Instagram, they do all the organizing in rainbow colors and they have the clear boxes and all that. And first of all, I need the space to work for me before I can think about whether it's going to be pretty or not. And they like go the other way where it's got to be pretty and work for you. I mean, there's lots of different ways to think about it, but I need the function. And if it doesn't make sense functionally, it ends up becoming a catch-all and you end up just shoving stuff in places. You know what I mean?
That's exactly. So I have a 2-bedroom and that's exactly. So my big, this bedroom, I mean, I don't know. It's big enough to be a nice little space, but it's not big enough to be a bedroom.
Yeah.
So my ideal for this area, and I'm sitting in it right now. I love this because if you can see this,
I love that
closet. It's like a closet area, and there's shelves. Well, I collect train cases, and all of my train cases fit so beautifully in this that they're displayed. Right.
I love that.
Well, it has become a catch-all because I haven't figured out the functionality of it. And my idea of this space is because I have my vanity here and it's like a makeup room / closet. And I want to make it a functional closet, like a boudoir. That's my
yeah. I love
Hollywood boudoir. At the moment, it is a catch-all.
Yeah.
And anything I trying to hide from my guest gets thrown in. I don't have very many guests. Anyone who comes over at this point,
in the age of COVID.
Anybody who comes over would not judge me in my housekeeping abilities. But there are just times when you want to throw stuff, and so it's become a very huge catch-all for everything that I don't want in my main spaces, right? Yeah. And like you said, I want it to be pretty and functional, and sometimes those don't go quite well together.
I think it's a matter of figuring out what your pretty is, because I have kids and my kids are small. So there are some things that are functional for them that need to be at their level. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if it's not at their level, then it's me having to engage in doing it all the time, versus I want you to be an autonomous and independent human being. Go get your own jacket. So right now they're sharing, because we have 3 bedrooms, but they're in the same bedroom because they're really not in a bedroom. But they share the same closet. And I've got the boys' stuff up high and her stuff is down low because she's 4 and she's much more independent in picking out her clothes and thinking about what she wants to wear and being able to grab it. He, on the other hand, he wants to be more independent. So I got to figure out a different way to, we're using his drawers. So that's what we've been doing, but figuring out ways to create functional spaces so that they're more responsible and independent. And it's not all on mom, because at the end of the day, you don't want it all back on you for other human beings. You know, we were talking about rethinking kind of that, rethinking and re-talking about keeping house or the roles of different people. And when you're talking about, like my husband used to say, I'm going to empty the dishwasher to help you out. It's like, we're not going to say that anymore, because that implies that somehow I am responsible for all the dishes. Now, I do a heck of a lot of cooking. It's my love language and what I like to do, but it's not my responsibility. You know what I mean? So reframing that, instead of saying I'm doing this to help you out, it's I'm doing this because I'm a contributing member of this household. So same thing with the kids, telling them you're doing this, you're putting your clothes away because you are responsible for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to figure that out and how that works, and keeping house, how that work, how all that works. Blah 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 blah. Sorry, I got
well, and it's quite so. Like, I think part of our podcast too is the juxtaposition of our households, because I live in a one-person single household, so
you can still lay your project
my responsibility.
No one's going to mess up your project. No one's going to move your ribbons and use them, right, for their sibling, which has literally happened. I had a ribbon skirt laid out in the craft room, by the way, in the area where I should be able to lay things out. Nope. One of them come around here. I was making a ribbon skirt, and they took the ribbons. I just had laid them out. I didn't glue them down or anything. I hadn't sewed them yet. They just took the ribbons and started tying each other up. Yeah.
You know, I mean, the most, yeah, no, like that's what I like about our lives is, like you have like a spouse and you have children, and I'm over here like living, I'm sorry, the best single life that I can. pre my babies, pre husband, right. But like, so my dad, sometimes he comes to stay with me because my place is closer to his work. It's a hour or 45-minute drive commute, as opposed to an hour and 45 minutes.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And so there's also that kind of like, I'm not used to having a second person. I've been single for almost 5 years now. I'll be single for 5 years in March. And it's that like reevaluation and kind of adjustment that I have to have with him as a roommate. And it's like, it's just an interesting dynamic, and sort of sometimes it is just, no, I am not here to be a Susie homemaker, because I'm single and I don't I love to cook too. Mm-hmm. And my mom is she's very comfortable with that role. Mm. That she cooks, she cleans, and that's her job, and that she's very good at that. I, on the other hand, think that situation should be more like a team, right? A team effort, that there's not certain assigned roles in this situation, and that this is a team household, right? Yeah. And so it's an interesting misadventure I've had since I moved back to Farmington. If no one knows, I live in Farmington, New Mexico now. Moved back from Albuquerque, and
she left me.
She's the only person I go see when I'm in Albuquerque. Sorry, Krista. Just kidding. When when I can see Krista, I can see her because she's in Santa Fe. But anyways, it's just an adjustment for me because I literally have lived by myself for the last 5 years. And so, and I'm not afraid to be like, can you do the dishes? Like, I don't think anyone is, but like, I don't know. It's just fascinating. And my dad is coming from a different era as well. So I have to factor that in.
Well, yeah, I think, well, when I moved home, because before I moved to Albuquerque, I lived on my own since about 20 something. I mean, on my own, I mean, I didn't have a roommate or anything. It was just me by myself. So I lived on my own for a good bit before I moved back home. And that was I could see that being a twinge of an adjustment because my people are old school. And even though I was a hairy rump grown with college degree, teaching, had a real jobby job, own car, all that stuff, there was still an expectation, in my head at least, that if you stay out after midnight, I needed to find somewhere else to stay. that there was still like this in my head, like this curfew, even though as long as I let people know where I was going and what I was doing, it was completely fine. So
right.
there was a few. That was back in my singledom. So yeah, I very much remember that. And it was a different experience too, because there was someone washing my clothes. That's my mom's love language. She loves washing clothes, and Paula knows. We were in Hawaii and we were all staying at an Airbnb together. And next thing you know, Paula's like, where'd my clothes go? My mom was like, they're washed and folded here.
I mean, this is including my chonies, people. I was like, okay, I don't think anyone other than my mom in my entire life, my mom, has washed my underwear, but thank you so much.
Folded them neatly and had them piled ready to go.
Yes. And it was cute too, because there was a moment when all three of us, including your sister, were exchanging clothes because she
had no clue whose clothes were whose. She was just like, I just wanted to wash and fold. Here we go.
Yeah, and I thought I had tucked my laundry bag away enough for her not
Doesn't matter.
She found them. She found them, and so it was, yeah.
So back when I was single and I had a boyfriend and I was living, and my mom would come to my house and stay a little while and then go. And so she did the same thing, except she found some other people's underwear.
Oh,
yeah. She's like, well, here's his underwear. I folded them and washed them. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Rip. Let's just
yeah, so Misadventures and Mother doing laundry.
It was for your boyfriend and your friend. And I think that was the first, no, was that the second time you meeting your mom? Yeah, because I met your mom for the first time at Karina's first birthday.
Yeah.
And that was like the second time I hung out with her mom, and she got real acquainted with my laundry.
Oh my gosh, my mom, the first time she met you at Karina's birthday, she's like, she has the prettiest lashes. I was like, yeah, they're fake. She's like, oh, really? I mean, they're absolutely hers and they're gorgeous, but they were a subtle lash for you.
Oh, yeah. These ones are subtle. I don't know that anymore. Who's she?
Which ones have you got on today?
Oh,
I'm looking at them.
You know what, girl? Our sorority is vast and far-reaching and a major part of my life. These, the ones I'm wearing right now, are Chelsea Jones. I think they're C. Jones, to be specific. And I got them in her 1-year anniversary bundle. Ooh. From Sultry Anarchy Boutique. So if you just put in Sultry Anarchy Boutique, you can pull her up.
I saw I got ordered some from her too, and I thought I actually asked her, it's like, so what are the ones that for girls who don't necessarily wear lashes, like a beginner lash, like a let me ease into this lash. So I ordered those, and then I ordered another pair, and the other pair that I ordered after, I realized how why some women do their eye makeup before they do their face makeup, because I had first of all, I had black lash glue. So that was my first mistake. I had the black lash glue. I put it on, let it dry. I go to put it on my eye and I completely miss. I had a line. You could see air between my lashes and the lash I put on. Have you ever seen that? There's a meme or a little video or GIF, a little video where the woman's there's like air blowing and the lash is like way up here.
Yes, she's like, I think she's like on the Everglades or something on one of those.
Yeah, it's like that's what it looked like, except there wasn't any wind blowing. So I got to practice that a little bit more. But when I did finally get them on, they were touching my eyebrow. I was like, okay, these are
not beginners.
These were not the subtle. These were not the beginner ones.
No. Well, I want to blow your mind right now.
Go.
These ones were a little much for me.
No. Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, I put them on and I'm like, oh, okay. But now I'm like, girl, I am never going back. Hey. I am.
Let's play a game. Let's play a game. You ready? The game we're going to play is how many native brands are you wearing? Because I am on this kick right now in my life of really supporting native-owned businesses, native-owned brands, really making sure that my dollar is going back into our communities. So, you ready? Steady? Go.
I have this right here.
This
one, I call this 17 Strands of Love. And I'll actually.
She's holding up her necklace.
Oh yeah, I'll link in. I will link that in our little description box because I don't remember him quite, but he was featured in Cowboys and Indians magazine for his jewelry. I'm wearing lashes from Chelsea, Sultry Anarchy, and I'm wearing her little lipstick brand that she just released these.
That color. Well. I love that color. It's so pretty.
Thank you. I'm excited to wear lipstick without having to cover it. Because unless you're listening to us, which I forget.
Are we on StreamYard or in your Apple Podcasts yet? Or are we just straight YouTube right now?
I think we're just straight YouTube right now.
Oh, that's perfect. So no worries. We don't even have to worry. Everybody can see us right now. Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. My turn. Now, actually, I am wearing these. Flip it around. These beautiful, beautiful. This is a water symbol for us. I don't know if it's for her too, but it's Creative Native Kristin Gentry. She has got so many earrings. I was just looking at her news feed on Instagram, Creative Native, and she with a K, Creative with a K. And she has so many different kinds of earrings they're just beautiful. I love all of her designs. She's also a sorority sister. Hey, Queen Bee's in the house. Okay, and then I'm also wearing cheekbone. This is my absolute. As soon as I figure out how to do this, this is my absolute favorite go-to nude lipstick. Is Kea from Cheekbone Beauty.
Good job.
Wearing that. I'm also wearing Lynette Tracy. This is one of my go-to. I love this shirt. It's got the camo. It's got the buttons. I was like, oh, that's a good tie-in right there. Look at me looking put together. So,
oh my gosh, she just released. I don't know if she just released it, but she has a bomber jacket. Oh, guys, yes. Go look at that bomber jacket. Oh my goodness,
it's gorgeous. Tracy has this red bomber jacket that I want, and then I want to go get it embroidered.
Ooh.
And I've got my eyebrows. My grandma would say, done up, and that's also Cheekbone Beauty. It's in the brown. And I think I ordered the black, but they didn't have the black, so they sent the brown. This is way a while back. And I was like, oh, I don't really need the brown. But the brown actually works really good. I think if I got the black, it'd been like Sharpie on me. It'll look really lame on me.
It would be like, gotta have those chola eyebrows, because that was me in high school.
Like,
some permanent Marco. Right. Oh, you're part of the New Mexico gang now. You're never coming back. We gotta have them Sharpie eyebrows.
That is it. So, yay! Just want to give a shout out. We'll link it in the comments below, and by we I mean Paula. We'll link it in the comments below.
Gosh, I've heard that so many times in my whole life.
Yeah, so that's let's play that game every time. How many native brands are we wearing? A segment, not a game. It's a segment. It's a segment of the Misadventures podcast.
I mean, I'll put brushes in my hair and
there's a few more. There's actually a few more native brands that I'm bringing into my life, and then some more women of color brands that I'm bringing into my life. I'm really focused on understanding how, the interconnectedness of our consumerism. Does that make sense?
Right.
So really understanding if I'm spending my money here, what that actually means. And does that business reflect? I don't have that much money, so I want to make sure that my money is going toward my values, going towards businesses that make sense in terms of the people and the companies that I want to support.
My favorite thing, I shared it recently into your Good Relatives book club.
It's in the link below. You should join.
I need to make a note of all these things. This is our first go around, and I need to write down. Okay, link. I will link as many things as I possibly can. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comments, because I want to make sure that our audience and our listeners have as much access to what we're buying or we're supporting as possible. But my favorite thing recently, and I shared this, was if you're buying Indigenous and you're supporting Indigenous, you're feeding Indigenous babies, and Indigenous babies are my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
To feed?
We them little chubby Indigenous babies with those little chubby cheeks, that, and it really comes down to that, because, and I'll tell you one thing, as you get to know me, and if you don't already know me, I love makeup. And the fact that I can support Indigenous makeup brands has been my favorite. I was thinking the other day, I have not gone to Ulta in more than 6 months now. Before the COVID. Because I've been able to support Asha Beauty, Cheekbone Beauty. I do have Cheekbone Beauty, and Native, what is it? Oh my gosh, why she does the Native Glare.
Blended Girl Cosmetics.
Blended Girl Cosmetics. Yeah. And that in itself says so much about the representation that we're getting in our new, even clothing, like with Chelsea, with I'm sorry, can you remind me about
Lynette Tracy fashion?
Lynette Tracy fashion. I haven't really gone to these mainstream places and bought makeup in a while. The only thing I do is I buy my foundation, but only because I like what I like. As far as foundation goes, but Ashe, I'm waiting on their line to expand. So
she's doing we interviewed her on the other podcast. She's got so much, which is wrong, Indian. She's got so much happening and going on right now. I was really impressed with the growth of her business. She's got a couple of outfits, a couple of jumpsuits. I was like, I'm eyeballing. Of course, I got to get more tight and right to feel good in them, because I can rock them and look good in them anyway, because I look good.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is I went to the gym for the first time the other day. So of course we all know we're under this crazy world right now, pandemic wise, and I haven't gone to the gym. Like I've been working out like in the park and stuff. Well, I went to the gym and I didn't lose any weight. I mean, it was one day and the
It
next
was one workout.
it was leg day, right? And I was like, my booty any different, my legs are any different, is one workout. And I'm like, ooh, ooh, nice.
Let me wear my booty shorts and twerk.
Right? Let me do the percolator right now, but like it's just fascinating how that works. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to have fun. We're here to have lighthearted conversations, heavy conversations.
And I am really appreciating this opportunity to talk with you and to share with you guys what me and Paula have been talking about for the last longest. I think it's really awesome to have this platform, and really awesome just to be able to share. So we want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
And we're going to have new podcasts available every Tuesday. And if you need some, you need some Honeybee Marie in the meantime, in between time, you need some Brittany Schulman in the meantime, in between time, make sure you're following us on social media. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, even though it's Brittany Schulman, it's Clever Native and Fearless Guppy, but you can still find us. We'll link it below.
You can't remember.
Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Click the every time. There goes my coffee pot. Make sure that you click the little bell to get the notification so that you're the first one in line for every Tuesday when this podcast comes out. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, have a great misadventure, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.